What do you want? What's the tea? Yo, tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Yo, tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Yo, tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Yo, tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Yo, tell me what's the tea?
Hey, kitty girl.
Hi, baby.
This is RuPaul. What's the tea with Michelle Visage?
That's me.
We have a good show.
I can't wait for this one.
One of my favorite girls, she was a judge on our show, a special judge, and I say special judge, she's a special guest judge.
She is special.
She's a special guest judge. Wendi McLendon-Covey. I guess I have a hard time saying her name.
Everybody does.
I have a hard time saying everybody's name.
We're going to ask her why she's stuck with that name.
Unless your name is Shaka Khan, I have a hard time saying your name.
Wendi?
Yeah?
McLendon-Covey. It's because there's so many clus.
Wendi McLendon-Covey.
See, that's what it is.
Yeah. Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Oh, I know what it is, because you have to make a stop on the end. McLendon.
Well, it's also the McLendon-Covey.
Right. There's a stop at the Mc. There's a stop at the Done. That it's all those stops, and then Covey's fine.
There's a whole bunch of consonants.
Yes, Wendi McLendon-Covey. I can't say that. Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Wendi? That's all it's just turned into. We can't wait to do her name for her.
She's brilliant. She's fantastic. She's got a new sitcom called The Goldbergs.
So funny.
I haven't seen. You've seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen the entire first season, and she's the reason to watch. I mean, I love George Siegel. He's been around forever.
Yeah.
But she and the youngest little boy is very good too. But she's the reason to watch because, first of all, the fashions alone. We lived through all of them.
What year is it supposed to be? 85?
80s. Yep.
Well, what year? Well,
I mean, all of the 80s was pretty much the same until we started to get to 89, 90. Then we started the grunge, ushering in grunge.
Yeah.
But,
because the 80s were shoulder pads.
Yes. A lot of shoulder pads, a lot of squishy sweatsuits.
Lots of perms.
Reeboks, crazy big feathered hair, big feathered. Mm-hmm. Some perms, scrunchies, slouchy socks. Yeah. Reebok high tops.
Oh, and those
with leggings.
Fuzzy sweaters.
Tons of sweaters. She wears a ton of sweaters. The nails, a lot of neons.
And remember when Wonder Woman, I guess this is more 70s or early 80s, but remember Wonder Woman used to wear those glasses where the top of the rim was actually at the bottom of the rim.
Yes. That's 70s.
That's 70s. Yeah.
But there's a resurgence of that. Tom Ford has a whole thing that he did.
Right. Well, she's going to be joining us. And, ongoing theme on this podcast is how do you get there? How do you get there? How do you make it through Hollywood? Well, Betty Davis would say, use Fountain. That's the best way to make it through Hollywood. Yes. But, I love talking to people who are successful and finding out what their story is.
I'm pretty sure her story wasn't the norm either. I think she was like...
She was with
Groundlings.
She was with the Groundlings and stuff like that.
Yeah, but later. It wasn't like she was there when she was 14 or 15.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. She wasn't on The Facts of Life.
No Tootie up in there. Exactly.
Well, we're going to talk to Wendi McLendon. Wendi McLendon. I'm going to say it this time. Okay. Wendi McLendon-Covey. You just have to be very deliberate. I always want to throw it away. Wendi McLendon.
You can't.
Yeah. If I throw it away, it just doesn't work. So she's coming right up. That one.
Wendi McLendon. She's out next.
Audible is the world's leading provider of audiobooks with over 150,000 titles to choose from. Whoa! They literally have everything. You can get one free audiobook just by going to audiblepodcast.com/RuPaul. That's right. Get a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial at audiblepodcast.com/RuPaul. I love it. Squarespace. I love Squarespace. I love they're so great. You can get a free trial at squarespace.com with no credit card required. Squarespace recently launched their latest version, Squarespace 7, which has a completely redesigned interface, new templates, and an incredible new feature called Cover Pages. Making a website has never been easier. These guys make it so easy. Now, when you're ready to purchase a plan, get 10% off with the offer code RU. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU. Okay, we are back, and we've got our special guest, Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Yeah, Wendi McLendon-Covey. Right, Wendi McLendon-Covey.
You know, that's not an easy name for Ru.
How they say it.
Yes. Representing Bellflower Girl.
Bellflower, yes.
Now, when you got into this industry, you stuck with Wendi McLendon.
Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Was it Wendi McLendon and then you got married?
Yes.
Okay. How did you
was
decide?
too lazy to do the paperwork to change my name, so I just tacked it on the end. Yeah.
Did you work before you got married?
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the occasional music video or commercial or whatever, but I didn't really have any success until I moved out of the house and got married.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nerd and got married at 26, and then that's when I left home. I lived with my parents.
That's not a nerd. That's like 50s.
Everyone makes fun of me.
Really? Really?
Yes.
Is that really a nerd though? I mean, you don't look like a not with those knockers. You were never a nerd.
You know, I got one good one and one shy one.
Well, welcome to my life.
You know, that's reality.
It's like my scrotum.
That's just hardcore, like your scrotum.
Exactly, Wendi.
Well, look, I think more people should stay home longer.
So wait, you went to
save
college?
their money and then leave and not come back.
Right.
Don't keep moving back home.
Well, did you go to college and then move back home?
I finished college once I got married. It took me a long time to finish because I would drop out and work for a while at, whatever dumb jobs, save my money, then go back to school. I didn't know why I was going
to
college,
school.
really.
Right.
Yeah.
Phoenix University.
Exactly.
The Bryman School. I learned to alphabetize files.
Toolbox at the end of it.
What did you study in school?
I ended up just saying, I got to pick something. So I got a liberal studies degree with a creative writing emphasis. So I'm good at Trivial Pursuit. I can answer. I know a little bit about a lot of different subjects.
No, that's a good thing, though. That is a good thing.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
At Cal State Long Beach. Yeah.
Because that's near Bellflower.
Well, see, I live in Long Beach. I was born in Bellflower.
Right.
The illustrious high-class city of Bellflower.
Yes, right.
Okay, which is full of apartments.
And criminals. Because
And
didn't the mayor and all those people get arrested in Bellflower?
That was Belle.
That's Belle.
Yes,
right.
this is Bellflower, where the Octomom had her litter.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And isn't there a Bell Gardens or something?
There is Bell Gardens.
A lot of bells.
A lot of bells.
Bell.
Yeah.
Ring them bells. Yeah.
So, so I grew up in Long Beach and never left and still live there.
You and Snoop.
You still live?
Me and Snoop in Cameron.
You still live in Long Beach? What? Why?
Yeah. I like it there.
But it's far.
It's far, but you know what? Everything's far when you live in Los Angeles.
That's what I told
it can
someone.
seriously take you 2 hours to get to Santa Monica from here when it's 10 miles away.
I mean, but you guys film, where do you guys film the Goldbergs?
Culver City.
In Culver City.
So,
how do you, so what time do you wake up and how do you get there on time?
Full disclosure. I have a traffic dummy.
Yes. Well, there you have it.
Yeah. So I drive in the carpool lane.
Yeah.
And so I'm rarely late anymore.
Yeah. Well, listen, you are a star and you deserve to have a traffic dummy.
Bless it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sick of telling people that. Now you can tell them.
It's in your rider.
No,
it's in your
right.
contract.
I get a traffic dummy. I don't want a driver.
Right.
I like to drive myself.
Right.
I listen to my own things.
Yeah.
Like What's the Tea?
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
Thank you, Wendi McLendon.
That was like James Brown. That was McLendon. Call it.
So stupid.
Oh, I'm going to need to record that. That's going to be my ringtone. I love that.
Oh my God. But, okay, so, right, you still live there. That is so wild. And you are a very successful actor. I mean,
I'm doing okay.
In Hollywood, this is a company town. Most people, you read Deadline, you read Variety and all that. You think, everybody's working. They're doing it. She got a job. Oh, she got a job. She got a job. Oh, everybody got a job. Everybody's working. They're doing the acting and work. Right. That is not the case.
No.
No.
It only sounds that way because, some people put out a press release every time they, think of an idea.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Or have a meeting with someone about possibly discussing writing a screenplay.
Yes.
They'll write a press release about it. So it sounds like they're always busy. Meanwhile, they're in their bathrobe watching, binge watching American Horror Story and crying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm working.
No, you're working. You've been working for a long time. You are, as careers go in this town, you are one of the you are up there. You are up there. No, it's true. It's true. We can say it. You probably can't say it.
Let's be best friends forever.
No, we can.
But it's important for you to understand, because it's easy to forget that, especially if you're as successful as you are. But it's when you break it down, you have been working your ass off,
and
girl.
you're so smart. That's what I love about watching Wendy. You're smart. You're humor smart. Reno 911. Bridesmaids. I watch the Goldbergs. I love the Goldbergs.
I love that you love the Goldbergs.
I love the Goldbergs mostly
it's
because
my favorite thing I've ever done.
And then I totally
it's so
get it.
Stupidly fun.
But I live through that because I can see how much you're loving it. The hair, the outfits, it's everything that I wore.
Right.
I wore.
Right.
But you
Sweaters.
mommify it. That's all.
You mommify it because that's what moms looked like.
Yeah.
They all had those dumb sweaters. But
and the
piggybacking on what you're
sweatsuits.
saying, it's part of the reason I gravitated towards this podcast is because you guys have kind of reinvented yourselves several times.
Yeah.
And like when something stops working, you find something else, but it's all about forward motion.
Yes.
You don't sit around waiting for someone to listen to your sad story and give you something out of pity.
Right.
You work your ass off, and there is no other way, and there are no shortcuts. And there's times when you have to be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I wish there was.
But
Shortcuts.
Shortcuts.
there aren't any. There truly are. Release a sex tape. That doesn't, that gets you a little bit of press for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But, like be on a reality show. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm talking about the MTV things and the Real Housewives and whatever.
Yeah.
Like you have to work your ass off, set a target and go there. And even if you fall a little bit short of that target, you're still further ahead than where you were.
I think the goal for real talent, excluding everything else that's out there, and real talent is questionable and relative at this point. Yeah. But with that said, I know for me, and I know for you, and I'm sure for you, Wendy, the real goal is longevity, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just making $5-10 million doing one gig and a sex tape is fantastic.
Right.
And no tea, no shade. But I really think that for me, the goal is to always be working. It's longevity. What comes next? What comes
at
next?
George Siegel's career.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. That is he's another amazing career. Look, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yes.
To back to television with Just Shoot Me, and now
the Goldbergs.
Amazing career. And that you're right. It is who's still around, who can go the distance.
Yeah, because it's nice to make $10 million and have a book deal and have a line of stuff, but then when it's all said and done and your show's off the air and people forget about you, you're done because there really is no substantial talent.
What else do you bring to the table?
Correct. Right. You can live off your millions, and that's great, and God bless. But really, for me, it's about I lose myself when I'm not working. It's about working, constantly working and creating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get horribly depressed when I'm not working.
Yeah. And I like to eat when I'm not working.
I need to be doing something. It's like that line from Chorus Line, please let me wake up in the morning with someplace exciting to go. Yeah. That's all it ever was for me, and it took me a long time to get going.
Wendy quoting the music in the mirror.
Listen, I've got references.
Yes,
okay.
Do you get depressed when you're not working? What do you do? How do you distract yourself?
Do you turn to food? Do you?
I turn to such bad habits. I turn to sleeping. I get almost narcoleptic if I'm not working. What am I going to do? Well, I'll take another nap.
So how do you combat it?
I'll take another bath. I start reaching out to people. I force myself to go out because I'll turn into a hermit really fast. Because once, I love what I do, but once you collect everybody's energy all day, you want to just stay and regenerate alone a little bit. But I'll take myself on an artist date, which sounds really silly and very
eccentric.
What's was it Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way? Like, take yourself on an artist date and like do something that you wouldn't normally do. So that might mean, you know, even just picking up a magazine that you would never in a million years read. It switches your thoughts around so that the creative ideas start spinning again.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And it takes you off the path that you normally walk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
No, it's interesting because, you know, like whenever I fall off the wagon from the gym, the way I get myself back, I have to trick myself into going is I'll say, Ro, if you go for 5 minutes, I will give you all of the points you would have gotten if you had gone for 45 minutes or an hour. Go for 5 minutes, you get all the points. I just need you to get over there, check in, and you can turn right back around if you want.
Yeah.
You know? And it's a way to trick yourself into getting out of that slump.
Yeah, because you always feel better after you do it.
Sure.
Yeah,
you know?
always.
Yeah.
And Guillermo del Toro did an interview recently where he said, you know what, if you're a writer, you have to write every day. It can just be a funny series of tweets. It can be just a review of a movie you liked that no one's ever going to read necessarily, but you have to do it every day. So, you know, you have to do something creative every day, whether it's, you know, finding a series of ugly pictures that I can make up a story about and say, this is my sister.
Yeah.
You know, I love tagging my sister in ugly pictures and sending them to her. Or, you know, just taking some photographs of whatever, going on a hike and just, or a roller skate. I find if I have a good roller skate, that really gets me back on track.
You are amazing. That roller skating episode of the Goldbergs, that was really you.
Thank you. Yeah.
That was so
But
good.
I love a good skate.
I was on the plane.
I have old school 4-wheel roller skates.
Yeah.
I get my roller skating playlist on, and it's like 1 hour vacation.
Yeah.
Where do you roller skate?
There's this big, beautiful park near my house that if I do the whole park, it takes about an hour. And I just...
An hour on skates is pretty big.
It's pretty good. Especially
that.
if the wind is blowing in your direction and you're like totally skating
she
into
goes
it.
She goes like, in the episode, you know, it was the secret of her son Barry that he was like turning to the skating rink, right? But she goes in there and she's like, you know, back in the day when I used to hang out at USA Roller Rink in Edison, New Jersey, like you would go and disco skate. Yeah. She was like full on really doing it.
Really?
But that was the first time I had skated in like 15 years.
Really?
But it all came back because when I was a kid, I was always on my skates.
Yeah.
I just
you don't forget it.
You don't forget it. It comes back.
Might break a
but
nail.
It's like exactly.
No, because I have my 4-wheel skates too, and I roller skate, but I was never able, and I could go backwards. I was never able to do that thing that they do in roller boogie. You know,
Oh, that's
that you
amazing.
slalom.
Though.
yes,
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Great thigh exercise.
Yeah, but she did the leg out.
I did I shot the duck.
Wow.
I shot the duck.
You did.
And then I fell over. That's what they don't show you. That I couldn't stop and I just had to like
hit the wall.
Yeah.
But I love a good skate.
Wow. What's on your playlist for skating?
Oh my gosh, I have everything from Neil Diamond to Public Enemy.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So, what's a good skating song?
Anything from the 70s.
Like there's the best ones are like, you know, the Chic, like Good Times from
Yes,
Chic.
that's great.
And you know, I'm always Jeanne, Hey Mr. DJ.
You know what else is a good skating song? Justin Timberlake.
Rock
You know
Your
what I'm
Body.
talking-
Yes.
Rock Your Body.
Song.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's a skate jam.
Hollywood Swingin'.
Oh,
Cool in the Gang.
yes.
That's my
Oh
probably
my
my
God.
favorite.
I was just thinking of that.
Cool in the Gizang.
Because over here in Glendale, they have the Moonlight Rollerway.
Yes.
What's that?
That's where we filmed.
Oh,
is it?
Yeah. Well, the last time I went there, we brought our skates in to go skate, but they were shooting a porno in there. And we couldn't, I guess,
On roller skates?
a roller skating themed porno, and we couldn't skate because they were shooting. And I thought, you know what? If I'm going to be turned away at the door,
Let it be for porn.
Let it be for porn.
Yes.
You know. But I've had I mean, this is Hollywood. This is, you know. But I've had my roller skates for years, and I've always, even, you know, I'm from San Diego. I've always roller skated.
I love to roller. We should do a roller skating party.
Honey,
That's what
I
we
have
should
thought
do.
about opening a modern rink because there aren't any. And
No.
Moonlight Rollerway is probably one of the only ones left in Southern California.
Yeah, well, there used to be this one over here at San Vicente, World of Wheels. It's kind of at the edge of the hood. It's at San Vicente, and where Venice and San Vicente meet. right over here. And
is it still open?
I think so.
Oh
but
my gosh.
It's all the brothers and all the sisters.
I love it.
You know? And but I love it. And I don't wear knee pads either. I never fall.
don't either.
Yeah.
Knee
I
pads.
don't either. No.
We're talking about the thunder from New Jersey over here.
Who hasn't been on them in a very long time. Very long time. I don't know. That thunder might turn into a very bad storm.
Well, you know, but it's interesting. I love that your analogy of that it's important to sort of
closed. World on Wheels has closed.
World on Wheels has closed.
On Venice Boulevard?
Yes,
Yeah, it's closed.
I wonder what else is the problem with Moonlight Rollerway in Glendale is that, you know, the track isn't wide enough. It isn't long enough. It's short. Mm-hmm. So I'll go there on Wednesday nights. They have sort of their quasi-gay night.
Okay.
I'll go there for 20, 30 minutes. I'm done. I've had enough. Yeah. You know, but it's good. It's good. The music's okay.
Skate party sounds like fun. You bring your own DJ, you rent the place, you do your own thing.
You know,
yes, you have to bring your own DJ.
Yes, of
that
course.
is a
We did that. You know,
pivotal.
At World of Wonder, many years we did our Christmas party there.
You
and
did?
I DJ'd for the Christmas
now
party there.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
because it's skating music is so specific.
Yes,
that it's like pivotal on the DJ. Because if they put some damp, well, I was going to say some country song, but this one loves country music, so he can find the right country song.
The right country song could do
it.
But, you know, I played like, you know, Strike It Up by Black
Of
Box.
course.
Strike It Up.
Oh, yes.
Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, da, da. And I played Shannon, Let the Music Play. Yes.
Joyce Sims, All in All.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How many awkward dance recital routines have I watched to all of those songs?
Oh, tutu. Yeah. Beep, beep.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But I love what you were talking about with, you know, knowing your proclivities and knowing how your mind works and how you slip into the darkness, how to override that through certain, you know, just witchcraft. And saying, listen, I know to every day to write or to get on my bike or get on my skates and just override that feeling.
Yeah.
Have you always been a super sensitive child?
Oh my gosh, way overly sensitive.
She got too much sensitivity on
What
things.
What sign are you?
I'm a Libra. So, and always very hard on myself. Like when I remember in kindergarten, this is so stupid.
You remember kindergarten?
I'm really going to tell you this. Yes. I would go and bang my head against the wall if
That's
I
why you
couldn't
remember?
play my piano recital stuff. Like, and I would sit down sheet music that was way too hard for my little hands to play. Like I had itty bitty kindergarten hands.
Yeah.
And I would sit down, not be able to play it and just start like hide under the bed or hit my head against the wall. Now that's weird.
Well,
that's really weird.
That's artistic.
But I've always kind of kept that up. Like if you don't go to that audition and give it 100%, you are a fucking fraud.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how I talk to myself. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Right.
I'm just saying
the way
that's
you
how
are.
I do things.
Right.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it's just weird.
But she brought up...
and you got to skate it out.
You got to skate it out. Yeah.
She brought up
Nothing
the
else.
artist way, which I just want to recommend.
Yeah.
I think we've all done it. I think maybe out there, everybody's done it, but it's such a good, look, it was a lot for me and I didn't do the whole book and I'd be lying to say if I did, there was so much. And I was like, I'm not doing that today. No, but it's, by Julia Cameron. It's called The Artist Way. Everybody who's in the industry, whether you're a writer, a painter, a singer, whatever, it's a really good book to do it. When you're feeling those blocks or whatever, it's good to turn to.
Now, Michelle, did you know that The Artist's Way is actually available on Audible? That's right. Audible is the world's leading provider of audiobooks with over 150,000 titles on their site. It's incredible. And some of those titles, of course, include my favorites like Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. Oh, love that. I still listen to it every night. I was just listening to it last night. The Power of Now. Fabulous. And Michelle's suggestion, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It has everything you're looking for and more. I love Audible. You can even listen to your favorite audiobooks on any device. And when I say any device, I mean any device. And what makes it really cool is that Audible has their Whisper Sync technology, which lets you switch between devices and save your bookmarks. You can even switch between reading on your Kindle and then listening to an audiobook on any other device without losing your place. It's fabulous. I love it. Don't forget that if you order a title from them and decide early on, this is not for me, You can even call Audible up and they will let you switch it out for another book free of charge. That's incredible. That's incredible, customer service too. Now, for a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial, go to audiblepodcast.com/RuPaul. That's audiblepodcast.com/RuPaul. Simple as that. You'll be signing up for Audible and you'll be saving money and you'll be just fierce. You'll be fierce. You know, when you're a freelance artist and you have to motivate yourself and you don't necessarily have the self-motivating gene, you have to find those techniques to get yourself up and out. We've all known so many people who are so talented, so great, better than me, but they didn't have that stick-withedness. They didn't have that work ethic that could get them out of that slump.
Right.
And a lot of people identify as a victim or as a starving artist, God forbid.
Yeah.
And they perpetuate that forever.
Yes.
They choose to live in that. That's why.
Yeah.
They choose to live in it, and you get no brownie points for doing that.
No.
No one is impressed or cares that you are a starving artist who didn't get their breaks.
Right.
Written screenplays get sold, not the best ones,
Right.
the ones that are written.
Right.
Okay,
Not the ones that are here
and not
in
the
your
ones
head.
that are up here, and
Right.
that someone stole my idea because I sort of told him about it. No, that didn't happen, sweetheart. You didn't write it.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
But there's a trend. You've read in the trades where there are these interns from these different companies who are creating these class action suits against companies for saying, I deserve to get money for what you had me do. But it's like, darling, an intern is someone who does not get paid.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You are learning you're learning how the business works. So that's what it's like saying, I volunteered for Red Cross, but you know what? I think they needed to pay me for what I did.
No,
Yeah.
you volunteered.
You
And do you
volunteered.
think that's a generational thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that people my age who had kids decided that they were going to right the wrongs of the world by sort of, rather than push their kid out of the nest, I'm gonna ease them. I'm gonna try to make it easy for them or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
And that's why you get a trophy for showing up to something.
Thank you.
That's why we created a 9th place ribbon.
We hate that. No, but she's not kidding. When we do the track and field ribbons, and I'm putting on 9th, 10th, and 11th ribbons that are the most hideous shades of green.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them going, really, girl?
Right.
11th place.
Yeah, no.
Let's just stop after first, second, third.
Yeah. After 3rd place, it's called you didn't try hard
Right.
enough,
True,
or you
but the
weren't
top
good
11,
enough, sweetheart. You can go home and cry.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
But and you should cry,
Work
and then
harder.
you try harder.
You try harder.
Yeah, that's what you do.
It's not good enough.
honey.
Well, that's
Work
just
harder.
how we've set it up on this planet.
Yes.
You suck.
Mediocrity. It's not what's
you're
for
never
dinner.
gonna win.
Yeah, 11th place. No, you do not put that on your bulletin
That doesn't
board.
work in this family.
Yeah.
No.
But, I don't see that changing. I don't see how that's ever going to change unless,
No.
all the electricity goes out and people have to, make a way for themselves without a smartphone in their hand.
I predict it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Actually, it's going to get worse with more of this protecting the youngins and not,
Right.
it's going to get worse.
Well, we'll see how all those class action suits pan out.
Well, a few of them. Well, I think I know that one got thrown out. I think there's one for the Late Show. I don't want to get sued or anything,
what?
but for the David Letterman Show, there was one. There was one for Black Swan, and there was one
Yes.
for a few others that are happening. But I don't know. We'll see. But you and I, we talked about this before, where this sort of idea started happening when the first lawsuit against the tobacco companies was won from someone who sued for saying, you gave me cancer.
Okay.
When the truth is, you have to take responsibility for it. Yes, it does cause cancer, but the first time I took a puff of a cigarette, and I'm not talking about a marijuana cigarette, my body said, oh, no, bitch, this is not good, and this was going to fucking kill you.
And we forced our body to, I'm an ex-smoker too.
Yes.
Forced our body to go, oh no, you're taking it. Bend
Yes.
over.
Yeah.
You're
You're
taking
taking it because you look fly as
You look
hell
good.
with that Virginia Slim Light in your hand.
Okay.
You look good.
menthol light.
Yes.
Oh, fiberglass in that thing. Yes.
That's just like a nice fiberglass massage
Yes,
going into your
totally.
lungs.
Did you ever smoke?
Oh.
It really is.
I actually enjoy the act of smoking, but I could never make myself keep doing it because I hate having smoke in my face.
Right. Yeah.
But cloves were my thing.
Oh my! So you were one of those.
Yeah.
Well, she's wearing everything she bought in her childhood on the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
Did you wear all black while smoking clove cigarettes?
I don't think I was ever allowed to really have any style like that. And if I did, when I smoked cloves, it was like, under cover of night, no one was allowed to see
You
this.
smoke
It was like,
cloves, but you're not Jewish. Jewish people smoke cloves.
is that true?
No,
Well, not in the LBC.
No,
It's the
no.
goys
It
smoking
was the
cloves.
bohemian kids who dreamt about being beatniks, that sort of trying to bring the beatnik phase back. Those were the kids who smoked
The only
cloves.
ones that I ever knew were the Jews, like when we used to go away in these conclaves, and that's how I first learned about the
Conclaves? You mean the Poconos?
Kind of, but that's another show, another story.
Yeah.
But we would go away for the weekend. I learned a lot about things on these weekends.
Yeah.
And clove cigarettes was one of them. And they were I remember I smoked Newports at this point, and the clove was so strong for my lungs that I was like, whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then, of course, there's the heinous smell of an actual clove.
Yeah,
Which
right.
I just brings back memory of me sticking them in oranges, and they'd be air fresheners in like first and second grade. And you'd hang them in your closet. Remember?
Yep.
That was your gift
Yep.
every year. You'd bring
Yeah.
home the mom.
Your mom.
Oh
and
my
then you're
God.
sitting there smoking it.
No,
that's funny.
so and you said that you were at home, you lived at home until you got married.
Yes.
And then you've been married for many years.
18 years. Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And
I
so-
like him.
Yeah.
I really get a kick out of
Yeah.
him.
What is it you like the best about him?
He is pure sweetness, pure good news. Like during the day, I always feel like when something happens, I can't wait to tell him about it. He makes my breakfast every morning.
Shut up.
You are kidding.
He wakes up at 4:30 sometimes and makes my breakfast and sits there and refills my coffee until I'm
Where
done.
did you meet him?
I met him. Oh, we were two losers at community college.
Okay. And you met him at college.
In college.
Yeah.
But like the minute I met him, it was like, oh, there you are.
Yes.
Oh, how sweet is that?
Oh, you're mine. Oh, I get it.
So you got married
now.
in 96 or 97?
96,
I got married in 97.
Wow.
That's why I know.
Wow.
It's not because I'm good at math.
It's a good time for getting married.
Yeah.
That's great. I love
But
that.
he is beyond supportive. Like he's the one who worked while I finished school,
Right.
worked at jobs that he hated. While I finished college, while I went through all my groundling training, while I was trying to get my career off the ground, and he like worked these jobs that he did not look forward to going to, but he was always the only one in my life who said, I think you can do it.
Shut up.
I think you can do it.
So he's
And
your
I
best friend.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You'd
whatever
have to
he
be to
wants,
live out
he
his-
can do it. If
Right.
he
That's
wants
right.
to quit working forever and play Dungeons and Dragons
Yes.
But I love
Yeah.
D&D. But
Yeah.
does
I'm
he
gonna
still work?
Yes, his job is being phased out right now. He was a contractor for the Air Force, but working remotely.
Right.
So they want someone who will actually go into the office, and so he's giving it up and training someone else. So he's now going to start another chapter, and we don't know what that's going to be.
And
but
does he play D&D really?
he has not had a good game in a while. There's not.
Well, you need to have a
It's,
campaign.
it's like a poker game.
Yeah.
You want to really. He's like, these people are dorks. Well,
Yeah.
honey,
It's D&D. You're playing a game about dragons. You're rolling a 20-sided
What did you
die.
think? You're going to play with a bunch of models? I don't know. It's D&D.
It's my favorite people in the world play D&D.
Look, I don't know how to help you facilitate that.
Have a cool
If
group.
you'd like to put together a cool gentleman's group of brandy and cigar smoking orcs, whatever, I don't know. But I will support that. I will, deliver the sandwiches
Oh my
if
God,
that's what you
love
want to do.
No, I'm just still on the idea of having someone in your life who is that supportive, and I've always had people who have supported me, very close people, and I can't imagine what it would be like to not have it. And I'm sure that there are people who don't have that.
Yeah, and bless their hearts. How they keep going, I don't know, because I don't know how I would function, and I live in fear. Like, is Greg okay? I think about, should I just make him a suit out of pillows so he never gets hurt? you know, like, how do I keep him safe at all times?
Yeah.
Because I am nothing if I don't have that man. But yeah, so people who really just have to keep motivating themselves, you know, I think respect, because I'm very spoiled on that front.
And you have no children, right? It's
No
just you and your
children.
husband. So you get to be spoiled by your man all the time.
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's why I think you guys are so close.
Yeah. It suits me.
Yeah. You know what works.
Yeah,
you know?
I know my limits.
No, I just, you know, I've always, you know, there, especially in the times when I fall into the darkness, those people have always said, okay, that was cute. Now come back, come here. So I've always had that. And, you know, makes you think about, how valuable that is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Now, you mentioned the Groundlings earlier. At what point did you, in your community college career, did you think, okay, I've got to add the Groundlings to this?
I went to see a show in 1993, and I thought, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I thought, this is so funny. If I could ever do this, I would really, like, it would really mean something.
Yeah.
I could do anything. If I could do that, I could conquer the world. So 4 short years later, a friend called and signed me up because I was too nervous to sign up for classes.
And you wouldn't have if she
I wouldn't
didn't-
have
or
if
he-
she hadn't done it. But we had both said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Come on, we're going to do it. We're both working at this horrible hotel near Disneyland. And we were both like, this can't be what life is about. My gosh, this sucks so bad. We got to do something. We got to shake it up. And my friend Stacy, who signed up for these classes with me, she is literally the funniest person I've ever met. But she stopped going, and I continued. But if she had continued, she would be
And where's
the
Stacey
biggest star.
today?
She's still in the hotel industry.
Swear.
We're still friends. I've known her for 30 years, but I think she sometimes looks at me and says, damn it, I should have
Of course she does. Of course
You know?
she does.
because she was way funnier than anybody else. And she's such a specific type.
That doesn't go away.
Yeah, it doesn't go away. She could keep doing
She
She
could.
could do it now. It's
Right.
never too late to start, another act
Sure.
in your life, especially when you're that talented. But
Right.
she's kind of saddled herself down with different commitments. And
Well, let's talk about that because we touched on it earlier with friends who we came up with who didn't have either the support or were locked into the idea of themselves as not just a victim but as someone who's trying to do something. What why isn't that your story?
because even as a kid, I thought, I just remember thinking, you're not telling me the whole truth. Like, I was always kind of a cynical child. Like, why shouldn't I do something? No is not really an answer. Give me a real reason.
Love it.
And so, I was just able to push forward because I don't like a pat answer. So wait, don't tell me I can't do something if I'm looking at this group of people and I'm at least as good, if not a little better than them. All right. And I'm just talking, numbers wise.
Straight up,
a lot of things are just numbers and attrition and stick-to-itiveness. Like, don't tell me something's impossible if you've never tried it and it's not even in your realm of consciousness.
Right.
Don't tell me no. So I was always able to push through that, even though sometimes I did get mired down in self-doubt, because as much as my parents loved me, they were not supportive of this at all.
Really?
No, they
Not
didn't want this for you.
at all.
What did they
Right.
want?
They really thought I would be a mom and get married young. And
Well, which you did.
which I sort of did.
Yeah.
26 is young.
It's youngish.
Considering.
But considering a lot of my friends
They
got
all get
married
married
at
in-
20 or 21
Did
and
they
started
really?
popping out babies. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
See, a lot of mine did not. In this day, nobody gets married till they're well into their 30s.
Yeah, which is only smart.
Yeah.
Wait
Right.
until your 40s.
Agreed.
Sure, why not?
Agreed.
Nothing wrong with being a fully formed person.
Yeah,
Agreed.
or
You know?
get a early marriage out of the way at 21
Yes.
and then plan on something else later.
Exactly.
Just get it out of your system.
Exactly.
So they didn't
They
believe
did not
that you could do
support
this.
it at all. And yet they fostered it without even really knowing that that's what they were doing. But they really left my sister and I to our own devices we had to use our imagination. They were not going to buy us every single toy.
Mm-hmm.
They were not going to entertain us all hours of the day. We had to figure out fun stuff to do. So we did. And my sister is a therapist, but she's also an actress in Portland and works all the time. She's
that's awesome. Like a theater?
Minor theater, storytelling stuff. She writes shows and produces it. Like, she's always doing some little thing. Like,
That's
she's
awesome.
got a full-time therapy practice that she also does. But they, we made dress-up clothes, we staged shows, we had pageants, parades, this, that, and the other. And my parents were like, yeah, that's cute. Cut to, no, we're really good at this, Mom and Dad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hate to break it to you, but we're both gonna try. And when I got my first job, my mom wrote me a letter. Now, my mother lives 2 miles away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Wrote me a letter, sent it through the mail to say, I am so disappointed.
Really? On your first job?
I cannot believe, which was Reno 911, my
You
first
are
big job.
kidding.
She, after the first episode, said, I
she
don't
not
know
get
what
it?
that was.
Oh, she
I
didn't
want
get
you
it.
to quit that show right now.
She didn't get it.
She didn't get it.
Yeah.
And still can't separate the fact that I'm playing characters.
To this day? Does
to
she
this
like
day.
the Goldbergs?
And still is like, she does like the Goldbergs.
It's more wholesome? Is that why? Because Reno 911's irreverent.
That's irreverent, but it was like, you talk about smoking pot. That is not how I raised you. And it's like, but I'm not saying it. That's Clementine.
Right.
And it's fine. So like if I do something for Disney, oh, I loved that movie you did with the singing dogs.
How'd you think about Bridesmaids?
I told her not to go see it.
And
I
she
said,
never did.
I don't want you to see it. You're not going to like it. And if you do see it, I don't want to hear about it. Right. But she did see it, and she wrote me saying, well, people sure did have a good time in the theater.
And
I did not need that, Carolyn.
Yeah.
You didn't like it. I get it. I told you not to see it.
Wow, she's
I told
judgy.
you not to see it.
And again-
Judgy mommy.
And
Yeah.
again with the letters. She didn't tell
With the
you in
letters.
person. She told you in a letter.
And I had to say, okay, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. I've put up with this for a long time. And it took me a long time to get my career started because I didn't want to upset you, but you don't get to be upset.
Now, did your sister advise
Wow.
you on saying that? Your sister, the
My
therapist?
sister also told me, you're
right.
never going to make it. I just don't see this happening for you.
Really? Yeah.
But I think that's the
My
first
younger
reaction
sister.
for everybody,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
What?
When everybody, like when I told my parents I wanted to be an actress and that's all I ever wanted to do, I wanted to be on Broadway and I wanted to be, they were like, okay, then you need to go to college and at least get a degree so you have something to fall back on, meaning,
Right.
AKA, you're not going to make it. So
Right,
then
but you understand. We talked about this before, where the parents they have your best interests in
Sure.
and they know how rough it is. And
Yes.
and we talked about this.
Right.
It is a long shot that anybody makes it, even get a small slice of the pie. It's a long shot.
It's a long
Correct.
shot.
You know.
And your parents don't want to see you hurting.
Exactly.
And that's legit.
So,
Exactly.
and our generation of parents kind of live by the Homer Simpson adage of you tried and you failed. So the lesson is never try. So you're never
That's so
disappointed.
sad, but so true.
You know,
Yeah.
do the same thing for 40 years, get a gold citizen watch at the end of it.
That's
and
true.
retire. Okay.
Yes. But how long had you done it before Reno 911?
I was secretly trying to like send out headshots and go to auditions, probably from the time I was 20.
Yeah.
So I would like sneak off to Hollywood and go on an audition. And
Yeah.
sometimes I would get it. And sometimes I would freak myself out and just drive right past it and drive
Really?
home.
Yeah.
But I did have one of those moments where I had submitted for a play. They called me in. I was ready to drive right past the audition. And I said, no, you get your butt in there and you book that job. And if you don't book it, then just quit the whole thing. You're a fraud. You need to stop saying that you want to be an actress because you don't. So I went in, my hands shaking. I give them my resume. It was just like for this little nothing play. And I was shaking, but it was like a breakthrough moment for me because I made myself do it and I made myself feel uncomfortable and sweaty and awful. And I did book it.
That's a big deal.
I didn't do it.
Right? You booked it.
I booked it and then had to say no because a spot opened at the Groundlings and I had to take it.
Right.
Right. So how many years between starting out and Reno 911?
I I usually count that from the time I started the Groundlings.
Okay.
So probably 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. Because when Reno 911 came on, everybody saw you and they went, there's that girl now. There she is. And it was as clear as day. You made that impact, and it was like, okay, she's here. She's here in our consciousness forever and ever.
Aww.
The end.
That show was a blessing. That was a real blessing. And that came at a time when I was really thinking, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Really?
Maybe I have started too late.
And you saw the write-up or whatever, the audition, and you said, this is me.
Someone called me after seeing me subbing for someone else in a play. And called me in for it, and it was one of those auditions where you could hear everything that was happening in the next room. I just hate that. But it was all improv, and I thought, well, look, I no longer care, so I'm just going to go in and do whatever.
That's a great place to be.
That's the
when you're
best
like, I
place
don't
to be.
give a shit.
And that's when you book it.
That's when you book it
because you go in not making anyone feel uncomfortable. Because that's the worst thing in the world to do at an audition is go in and make everybody
awkward.
Feel needy. Like,
right.
I'm the new kid in school who wants to eat lunch with me, you guys.
Yeah. Exactly. Because, you end up having to work with this person for years or however long. So you want to be with someone who you're comfortable with. Yeah. Now, I want to talk about the Groundlings and how that helped your experience on Reno 911, because the idea of improv, were you good at it before, or did the Groundlings perfect your ability? And how much of, I'm asking a lot of questions, how much of that, the Reno 911 is such a weird concept for people to understand.
Was it
how much of it is scripted?
It was all improvised. So we would get rough outlines.
Of where they needed you to go with
where they needed you to go, and then we'd all take turns going in and out.
I see.
So it was completely unscripted. That's all our dialogue. Just coming out of our mouth.
Watching it, you would think it has to be, because nobody's that good. No disrespect.
No,
meaning the timing and the energy was so frenetic and funny, and you can't write. And I'm talking about the writers, not the performers. Right. Nobody writes like that.
Right. Well, some people can.
They can, but you don't ever see it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so amazing. Yeah. So you're saying that everybody got a piece of the pie. They would put the camera on someone and you'd run the scene how many times?
Not very many times.
And would it change every time?
Because it would change every time. Because we were out in locations that, we were basically guerrilla shooting. So you never knew who was going to walk through the scene or,
I love that,
would there be gunfire? I mean, we worked at a real police station. So we would have to just kind of shut up sometimes and let them bring their prisoners in.
Oh my goodness.
So, it was,
and it was
completely
actually in Reno, Nevada.
No, it was here in Sun Valley.
Oh, it's Sun Valley.
That's why you see palm trees. That was everybody's big bugaboo with the scenery, was that we had palm trees. And then the Carson Sheriff Station down off the 405 near IKEA. That was our working police station.
Wow.
But no, we never went to Reno. But the Groundlings helped as far as, there's one thing to just be an off the cuff speaker, who can come up with funny things, but you really have to listen and respond accordingly. And that's what the Groundlings helped me with, and character development. I was going to say, and in character. So you're creating this character, exactly, responding as this character while thinking of lines as this character. Yeah, that's heavy. So if you can develop a good character, you always know what they're going to say, right? Because their political affiliations, what's in their fridge, what they did, are they hungover today? What are they doing tonight? They're going to go be in the Miss Whiskey Pete's pageant. That was Clemmy's whole thing. So that was a really fun thing for me to do. And it was such a weird, specific person. Yeah. Was she based on someone that you knew? Well, I kind of patterned her off of my Aunt Susan because she had swagger. And she did not need you to tell her she was pretty because she knew she was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And yes, she was always maybe on the bottom with her flat ass, she could stay a size 6, but she was snossaging out of it on the top. Didn't matter. Did not matter.
But that sounds a little like your character on the Goldbergs too, meaning she, not the body, but she knows she's fabulous no matter what.
She does not need you to tell her.
No, she does not.
Because she'll tell you.
She will.
Yeah.
I love her.
And did you do your own makeup for Clemmy?
No, I didn't.
Because it was gorgeous. It was drag queen makeup.
It was specific.
Yeah.
But Niecy Nash was up in that too, wasn't she? She was working with a drag queen.
Yes.
So, she had to hold her own up in there.
Oh my God. I loved it. I loved it so much.
That'll all be one of the favorite series ever.
Now, before we discuss why Michelle thinks Reno 911 is the best series ever, let's take a second to talk about Squarespace, which, I love Squarespace. We've received some great emails at RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com and tweets about your Squarespace websites. This email is from Sherrod Folks and Danielle Jones. This one reads, "Hey, kitty girls, Ru and Michelle. My name is Sherrod, and I have to tell you how much I adore your work." Oh, thank you. Every single week, I learn something new from the both of you. Hearing your ups and downs, your struggles and successes inspired me to start something new with a friend of mine, and I want to tell you about it. My friend Danielle is a phenomenal baker. You know those out-of-this-world cakes you see on, those television shows like Cake Boss and the cake competition shows? She's that good, times 10, with a passion for her craft that I rarely see. As for myself, I've been cooking since I was 13. I cooked for Destiny's Child, Reba McEntire, Luther Vandross before I even left high school. Ooh, I like the sound of that. All through college, she and I cooked at various events together, but we never launched an official joint venture. 10 years later, we finally joined forces and launched Slice and Tort using Squarespace. Our URL is sliceandtort.com using Squarespace. Although I am a software developer by trade, I didn't want to spend my days doing a website and setting up all the architecture and handling the various medias it would need to host. Squarespace made it so fast and easy to create our site, I am in disbelief. Not only was it ridiculously simple to create the site, it was easy to modify even the slightest details to suit our taste. And as two control freaks, this makes it worth every penny. Thank you so much for continuing to inspire and educate the children. She has something in parentheses here. It says, real women need to stop wearing drag queen eyelashes. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that Sherrod and Danielle are real women, biological women. I wonder if they wear eyelashes during the cooking. I would think eyelashes might want to fall off into the cake. I don't know. Might taste good. Anyway, with much love, Sherrod Folks and Danielle Jones. I love this story because it's true. Squarespace makes it so easy to create a website. We've done it. You've seen our website at RuPaulPodcast.com. You'll see how easy it is to work it out and to make something really lovely. And their site is absolutely gorgeous. Their recipes look out of this world. Now, you can get a free trial with no credit card required just by going to squarespace.com. And when you're blown away and ready to confirm a plan, just use offer code RU and get 10% off. You'll be getting a great deal and a great website. Thanks again to Squarespace, and keep sending your websites to RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU. So, Michelle, I want to hear, and I'm sure you're going to tell me, why you think Reno 911 is one of the best shows of all time.
Just everything about it. I think because I'm always drawn to the improv. I used to do my own little improv thing in New York, and I think it was always a secret dream of mine to go on SNL. And then, it was one of those moments of just audition. They're always looking for people, but it's like you have to do X amount of minutes of stand up. And then I was like, well, I don't do stand up, but I can write stand up. No, you can't write stand up. It's like going back and forth of what you can do, and never did it. So that was always kind of a dream. And then when Reno 911 came out, I was like, this is it. This is what I would do, right here. Right. That's why I loved it.
So you wanted to be on SNL.
I did. Always. And you never auditioned? Never. Because I wasn't a comic per se.
Yeah. I never auditioned either, and I had two managers who basically made it sound like they could walk me right through the front door.
Really?
And yet I never auditioned.
I always heard that you needed like 8 to 10 minutes of stand up.
Yeah.
And then
I've never done stand up in my life, and the thought of it scares me.
That's
which
what I
makes
mean.
me think, well, maybe I should just do it.
And then you're supposed to come in
get it
with
over
3
with.
fully developed characters.
Which you could do easily.
Probably, yeah. Yes,
I just
could.
didn't hear enough good stories coming out of there. Like
True.
I know
It's a work
people
camp.
who had a great time. Like Kristen Wiig, okay, she, obviously iconic. And I know people who will be in therapy for the rest of their lives who are totally shell shocked.
I agree with you.
From that.
Heard same stories.
I don't know.
Was something you ever wanted to do?
I always dreamed of doing it, but then when I really started hearing the stories, I thought, well, maybe that's not for me.
It sounds like torture.
Yeah, it really sounds like torture for sketch comedy. I don't know.
Right.
I just think
I would think that the Groundlings was just like that.
Yeah, it was just like that, yeah.
How did they delegate who got to do which role, or how did that work?
Well, you spend, you rise through the ranks, and then once you get you get voted on at every level. So once you get voted into the Sunday company, that's like the farm team. And you stay in there from 6 months to a year and a half, slaving away. Every Sunday you do a show, and every show is different. So you're writing constantly. Your life just becomes about Wednesday night when you show material, Thursday through Saturday you shop for costumes, Sunday you do your show. And you either leave when you do a good show at the Groundlings, there is no better high. You feel like, damn it, yes,
How did it
I
work?
am the
Was there a
queen
live
of the
audience?
world. What's that?
Was
Oh
it-
yeah, live audience.
All the time.
All the time. So you get immediate feedback. All right. And so slaved away in the Sunday company, worked my butt off, as everyone does, for a year and a half, got voted into the main company, and then I kind of started working a lot. So I didn't get to do as many shows as I wanted. But again, it's a writing game. Like who writes the most, whose stuff is the best received for each show. So they have a high turnover of shows.
And you had to write too.
Yeah, you definitely have to write.
Wow.
If you want to be in the show a lot, you got to write a lot.
Who is in your group of people that we would know?
Jim Rash. Nat Faxon.
Nat Faxon.
He won the Oscar along with Jim Rash for The Descendants.
The Descendants, right.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, such a great movie. Melissa McCarthy.
Was in your group of people? Melissa McCarthy?
She'd been there a little longer than me. She was there first, but we did shows together. Jillian Bell, Michaela Watkins.
Jillian Bell and Michaela Watkins.
Yeah,
Do I know them?
Michaela was on Trophy Wife. Long dark hair, curly, really funny. She pops up everywhere. Jillian Bell kind of made a splash in 21 Jump Street. Who else would you know?
Was a really
Annie
good
Mumolo,
movie.
the co-writer of Bridesmaids.
Wow.
So we had a good.
I thought Kristen Wiig, she didn't write that by herself.
It was the two. It was the other woman in the plane in the
on the plane,
sitting in coach with her back there. That other woman. He said, "I think you should throw it back really fast." Yeah, her.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, and that took so long to get made that Annie had 2 children.
Are you
that
kidding
was
me?
Wow.
Percolating. Yeah.
Wow.
And she was whalishly pregnant when she filmed that plane scene. But yeah, so Annie was the.
And so the whole time you were at the Groundlings, you were working a day job somewhere?
Yes.
Really?
I had a part-time job up until 2 years ago.
Wait,
I
stop,
kept it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Okay.
For 12 years, I worked on the campus of Cal State Long Beach as an assistant editor of like this scholarly journal, this social work journal. I was the only employee, and no one knew what I did, so no one ever like checked in with me. I know it sounds weird, and it is weird, but I
worked at a college working on a periodical.
But physically, or just you could do it from home?
I could do it from home, but I did have an office that I would go to. And I could skulk in there in the middle of the night in my pajamas. I could do my work from wherever I was. No one cared as long as I did it.
Why?
Up until 2 years ago.
And I would still be doing it, but it folded. It ran out of funding, but I would still be doing it. I love doing it.
That's why. Because you just answered it. Because you love it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was about social workers and people in the helping professions and like all these narratives of the stuff they go through. And I'm sorry, these are people that there is no such thing as a 40-hour work week for these people,
Right.
and they don't make enough money, and they fight the good fight and only go up against red tape. I have such respect for social workers after working this job. But when I first got started doing it, my boss was this brilliant, gorgeous woman named Jillian Jimenez. She was a double PhD. And she was...
Is that contagious?
Completely nuts. I wish. But she hired me, and she was also real supportive of me pursuing my acting. And she would come to my shows, and she would laugh her head off. And she was like, oh, yeah, this is great. You're going to be a star one day. Just never quit Reflections. Just never quit. I said, I'll never quit. I will not quit until you fire me. Well, then she died.
Oh!
She died. And I kept that thing going with no supervision until the social work department said, what is it that you do? And I said, well, I've been keeping this thing going. Do you want me to keep it going? Yeah, keep it going. We'll find someone else to supervise. Cut to, it wasn't making any money. It never made any money. But there are some people, a very small handful of people out in the world who only know me as the assistant editor of this journal while I was on the set of Bridesmaids, copy editing these articles and doing all that. But I love doing it. I love doing it.
Now, you had obviously Wendi McLendon-Covey is your real name. Now, do you regret using your real name?
I do, because people have tracked down my home address.
Yeah, you can do anything on Google.
Yeah.
What
But,
are you going to do?
I'm not that scandalous.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? No, it's,
I'm not doing anything that interesting that someone's going to.
Well, it's just, listen, I know, I just, whenever I go to the gynecologist's office, and my name is right there, they go, and they look at it and they go, oh, you're RuPaul. Oh, RuPaul.
That's a real specific name.
That's because you're the only RuPaul in the world.
There is no RuPaul anywhere else.
But I venture to say I have never met another Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Me neither. Wendi McLendon. That's how you got to say it last name. Wendi. Everybody knows Wendi. Yeah, that's Wendi.
That's it. Oh my gosh.
You should have seen us. We've known you for years. We've loved you for years. And we go, Wendi McLendon.
That is...
It's great.
So luscious.
I have told people, whoever are getting in the show, I says, okay, that's great. Change your name so you can have some bit of anonymity because, that shows up everywhere. Yeah. And you don't want people to know that, especially in this day and age where people are they're all up in your business,
Yes.
So, knowing that now, Wendi, what are some of the other things that you would tell young people who are getting in the business what to look out for? Because that's something that you could never really anticipate. It's the name thing. Do you have anything else that you could tell people, like, don't do this, yes to this?
Don't listen. You might have to clear out your phone book of people that you've grown up with because they want you to be as miserable as they are a lot of the time. So you might have to keep them at arm's length. When you go into an audition, don't spend a bunch of time in the waiting room trying to catch up with everybody. Okay? Because you're giving bits of yourself away when you need to give it all in the audition room.
Catch up after. Yeah.
Catch up after or not at all.
I like that.
Just go away.
Go fuck yourself. I'll see you later.
Get yourself into some kind of regimen, and I cannot stress it enough. Anything that you do on a regular basis day to day, whether it is doing your morning pages, whether it's getting up at 4 a.m. and meditating like I know you do because I listen to you on Mark Maron.
Yeah.
Okay? 7 steps every day to get you towards that goal. If you're taking 7 clear steps every day, whether it's just eating healthy food and going to the gym.
Why it gotta be 7?
Or reading a 7 minimum.
Why can't it be like
3? Do 21. No, it's gotta be 7. Gotta be 7. Because 7's more than 3.
Yes.
You will get where you're going. It's not up to you to worry about how it's going to happen. It's up to you to do the work. It's not in your control. And it's just going to happen.
You're right.
It's going to happen. You know what you want to do from a very young age. You always know. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people beat it out of you, but I know from a very young age that this is all I've ever wanted to do. So I set up my life to completely facilitate that. I never want to hate acting. That's why I had a part-time job for 12 years, because I never wanted to feel so desperate that I'd make desperate choices.
Right.
But so I would say be regimented with your healthy habits. Do it for your sanity, if nothing else. Protect your talent, whatever that means to you. Don't give little bits of yourself away to people who don't deserve it.
Right.
That's just for life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not easy.
Yeah, not easy. But there was a test in the 60s, some weird experiment called the marshmallow test. And it sounds like, oh, did you put marshmallows under your boobies to see if they fell out? No, that's not that's the pencil test. Where they would set a marshmallow in front of a child and say, you can have this now, or if you wait 20 minutes, you can have the whole bag. And that was an indicator of future success. Would the kid take that marshmallow and forego the bigger prize, or would they wait and take the bigger prize?
So the majority of them
of them just took the single one and then said, well, wait a minute, why can't I have the big bag?
Right.
Well, because that wasn't the deal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't take what's right in front of you just because it's there.
Right.
Wait a little bit. Look, be a big picture person. I don't know. That's my sermon. That's my sermon.
That is great.
You know?
That is great advice. And before we leave, I just want to ask, how did you get so skinny? Because if on television before, either you looked heavier on 90210.
911. Reno, but she was thicker.
Well, okay.
Because you're skinny now.
I haven't weighed myself in 14 years.
Good girl.
That is the truth.
Good girl.
On that show, I know I was a little heavier, but I also wore a big padded bra and made sure that my clothes never fit. Right? Because she needed to look like she was
busting out.
This is a person who smoked pot, got the munchies, and drank all night. Like she needed to look a certain way. So I know I probably lost a little weight, but I don't know how much. But I do look fat on camera.
But you can judge by your way clothes fit, right?
Yeah. But I look puffy on camera because the new TVs. I'm not just blaming it all on the TV, but they make you look short and wide. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I did.
Actually, was when you were on RuPaul's Drag Race, I was surprised at how young you are, because also on Reno 911, because of the makeup and the thing, it seemed like that character was older than you are.
Older. Yeah. I was also a big time insomniac right about then too, and was like living on Diet Coke to stay awake. Well, I had to reteach myself to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that made a big difference too.
Today you are young and gorgeous.
Yes. And thank you so much.
And successful.
Oh, the world is mine.
It's great. It's always fun and satisfying to see someone who's clearly worked so hard and really...
And who's talented.
And just have the world at their fingertips.
You're so sweet.
Brilliant. No, it's true. It's true. And it's important to own it.
Now.
Yeah, we're looking at a picture.
And the meme says, I always wanted to be a widow.
I think that's when I married a dead man, right as he died. Yeah, because I wanted to get an eye rock.
An eye rock. Yes.
I love it.
Quality
love an
lady.
eye rock. Yes. Well, thank you so much, my love.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to be watching the Goldbergs on ABC television.
So. Yes.
At what time does it come on?
Wednesday nights, 8:30, between The Middle and Modern Family.
It's very,
I hope you love it.
Good.
I hope you love it.
Because
I really want to keep doing it because I really like doing it.
Second, third season?
We're in the middle of our second right now.
Season.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I love it.
I love it too. And I know this from having spoken with you before. And I read in the trades about that Goldie Hawn thing that was going to happen that never happened. The Viagra Diaries or something. You were going to play her daughter.
I was going to play her daughter.
Wow.
And Paul Feig was going to direct it. It was like a match made in heaven. They just pulled the plug on it.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe I'm going to tell you this, but this is the God's honest truth of what happened. This happened on a Friday night. My agents called me to say it was dead. I started to go like this. And I had 5 offers. to do other things.
That
same day on a Friday as pilot season was about to end. And I ended up doing another pilot with Christopher Lloyd.
Wow.
Like Back to the Future,
Yes.
Christopher
Yeah,
Lloyd.
like
Taxi?
And John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
Who's
Called
brilliant.
Kings of Van Nuys. It didn't go.
No, but I read about
but
that.
it went twice. They filmed the pilot twice.
Wow.
So, and then I got to do the Goldbergs. So it was all nice, but it's like, you never know what's going to happen.
That's
So
right.
Wasn't there a movie with Sally Field also?
I did that.
You
Yes.
did it. Okay.
My name is Doris. Brilliant
What was that
movie
like?
for Sally Field. Oh my gosh. She plays this woman who's been like a recluse, till way into her 60s, taking care of her mother and cats and whatever. And then she finds solace in the hipster community. And it's so crazy, but damn it if it doesn't work. And
Well,
watching
it's Sally
her
Field,
work, it was
yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm seeing, like, I'm sure I geeked out all over her and she probably thinks I'm weird because I couldn't stop staring at her, but whatever. So what? It's Sally
DJ,
Field. She's
damn it.
used to
Yes.
And that's coming out.
it. That's coming out next year.
And who directed that?
Michael Showalter. So it's a sweet.
Hello, my name is Doris.
Hello, my name is Doris.
What a brilliant actress that. Wait, talk about a Hollywood career.
Yeah.
From a teenager to 2 Academy Awards and movies and movies and movies.
Please.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's an anomaly. That just doesn't happen.
That's an anomaly.
Yeah.
And she's someone who, a lot of women like to say there's not enough roles for women. And, as you age, there's just, they're all
Sally
drying
Field
up.
and Meryl Streep take them all.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
They're out there.
It's like, well, are there a lot of roles to begin with for
Right.
anybody? No one ever thinks they're working enough. And kids, there's just not a lot of women, hello. Let me say it not in Esperanto.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say it in English. There's not a lot of roles for women who have chopped their faces up into oblivion.
Yes.
Like trying to look young. Don't worry about that.
Yes.
Don't worry about that.
Meryl Streep just did a whole thing on People. She spoke out about that, which was brilliant. And she said, listen, it's about aging gracefully. It's not about, in my 60s, I've learned to not care. If I don't want to be with you, I'm not spending time with you. If you offer me nothing in life, then we're not going to hang out. If you don't like me, then I'm not going to like you. And that's just the bottom line. And those are the people I surround myself with.
Exactly.
And she's aging gracefully. She's not doing any of this crazy pulling and tugging. And those are the ones that are the Judy Denches, the Helen Mirrens, they're getting the work.
Yes. And they will
look
always
human.
work.
Yeah.
Because there are always roles for those women. Now, maybe you don't want to hear that if you rose through the ranks being a sex kitten.
Right.
Okay.
That's what it is, right
That's
there.
what it is.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to write a remake of Charlie's Angels with 57-year-olds.
No, that would be
We'd all love to see it. I'd love to see
That
it.
would be
the first one in
hot.
line.
Yes.
But
You just came up with a great idea.
Maybe on Netflix. Maybe after I open,
I'm all about that. Wouldn't you be all about that? I know you
Sponsored
would be.
by Boniva.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Premarin. Little horse urine never hurt anybody. I'm all about it.
Oh, bless it.
But speaking of Sally Field, I mean, she did do a lot of it. I mean, she was doing big movies like Norma Ray along with Smokey and the Bandit,
Right.
and she would go to television and go back and forth to different things. So she had it planned. Even when she did Sybil, that was a huge risk for her at that
Right.
time, So, you have to take risks.
You have to
and
take
you
risks.
have
She
to
was
play-
a nun that flew.
She was a nun.
What kind
Yeah,
of
and
risk-
that shouldn't have worked, but
Exactly.
it did.
It did
She
work.
made it work.
Yeah.
Wanna why? Because Gidget did it. That's
No,
why
I-
it worked.
Well,
No
you
one
know,
was cuter.
She's
one was
what a
cuter.
great talent, and you're a great talent. And thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming up here from Long Beach to be with us today on your
Thank
day off.
you for being inspirational, the both of you.
Oh,
How about
you're
that?
so sweet.
How about that?
You and continue to inspire
More of
us.
you. More of you.
Oh,
okay?
you're a sweetheart.
More. I can't wait for your book to come out.
Thank
I can't
you.
wait for you to write another book.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All of it. Omni Media. From the both of you.
Agreed.
Well, on that note, we're going to say goodbye to everybody.
And watch the Goldbergs. We love it.
Just say my name one more time.
Wendi McLendon-Covey.
Yes!
Wow.
That's it.
All right,
Success.
guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes.
If you love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Man.